Welcome back to Duro3 YouTube channel. Okay, this is going to be a little short video. I've just started stripping down a customer's rotator, a Daiwa DR-7500, and I should have started videotaping this from when I first started it, but I didn't, and I've cleaned a lot of grease and everything off it, and I wanted to show you what has happened to the poor thing. Another one I noticed when I got the bearing ring off is someone's gone straight through the sides with a screwdriver or something. There's one there. Get your finger behind that. There's a big divot out of that one there. This one here. Massive big divot out of there. Another one out of there. There's just like someone's attacked this with a bloody hammer and a screwdriver. And the whole inside here is as rough as all. Even down the bottom here there's dents everywhere in this. Instead of dents in this, it's been really running badly. I mean, I've never seen dents right up on this edge here. So something's been reassembled really badly or something. I don't know what's caused this, but so then I moved on to this, trying to clean the mess up and everything, and the tracks are really rough and yucky. And I'm looking up here and going, why is the shaft so far down in the top housing? And I'm looking up here and going, someone's put a washer underneath the top housing, which has pushed everything up. And then I'm looking here and going, wait a minute. That gear there, the space is meant to be underneath it, not on top of it. And then I'm looking over here and I moved the actual gear. You probably can't see it. I'll see if I can get a better angle here somewhere with a bit more light. The first gear has actually, the pin is actually dislodged up the top here. I'll try and get a better view on it if I can. See it wobbling backwards and forwards? It's just jumping up and down, like, and that's just me moving the gear. That's what's happening. It's just the whole thing's just wobbling backwards and forwards. And it's probably jamming as well. And I don't know why, but it's like I think they've put all the spacers back in the wrong place because nothing's lining up where they should be lining up. Especially this first gear. This gear, I did test it and it was jamming one way. Now I've got to strip this down, but it was only going to go one way, and I'm going, okay, something's wrong. I'm not surprised, but everything seemed to be pulled apart really badly. So, but that movement there is probably jamming things up. But these gears in the wrong, and the spacers in the wrong place, and this plate, there's washers under the plate, is not good. You can't do that. You start pushing everything up higher, which is then going to cause other problems. You'll start hitting things, especially up in the top casing here. If you come up to, if you take this up too high, there's a recess here in the knock bar. This can then actually hit things in here because everything runs so closely. It would actually get very close to the tops of these. It doesn't look like that's hit them, but it's like it could do if it come up too bloody far. So I'm going to strip this down, and while we're here, hope my battery doesn't die, and we'll see what else is happening here. I don't think I've got much battery life for that. We only make this a little short one, so get these off here and remove the actual, it's hardly sitting on there at all. Right, they're about a 1 mil or 1.2 mil washer, 3 of them, spacing that up. Wow. Yeah, and these are all in the wrong order. These spaces are all in the wrong order. And this must have been a bottom one because it's got big sharp edges on it. So this has been assembled really badly at one time, and someone put it back together again without fixing the problem. I'm just going to get a tray to put my gears and stuff into. So, but everything just seems to be, and there was no spacer on this top one here either. So interesting where we're going to find that. So it'll be interesting to see what condition the gears are in. They've been chewed. There's chew marks on the gears. They've been chewing into each other. This has got big divots in it. So, okay. It's had a hard life, this rotator. Oh. These gears are actually loose. I can feel them moving. This has been chewed out too as well. It looks like there's been water in this thing too as well. The shaft just fell out, and it has the wrong spacer underneath it. That probably should be that spacer there, but this looks like it's worn down. And then someone's put a spacer between that and that, That's in the wrong spot. I dare say there's no space on here, so everything's been reassembled wrong. And they've actually pulled the gears apart and they've reassembled them the wrong way. All your gears are meant to face down, because what you'll get, what they've done is they put these two together. Of course now they fall down in there, that'll be about bloody right. They're stamped out in one direction. All the stamp outs should go the same way. They had it going, so you have, we can't see it because this is so grotty. They had the two stamp out. This is the feathers that way, and they're stamped down, and they've actually had two together that way. So you had ones that have got really close spacing, and then the next gear up here would have a wide spacing. As you can probably see, there's a wide spacing. That's how they had it. It should be like that, so you get even spacings with these stamped out gears. They've been put together the wrong way. Okay, well that's that happening. Just everything's been reassembled wrongly. But here we are. We can actually see the actual the gear moving now. Even better. Now I've got light on it. It's just floating around like everywhere. That's just wobbling around. So we shall do it, make a bit more noise. We'll get the Phillips screws out of here, and we'll just try and pull things apart better. Put that terminal block on the side a little bit, so we get screws there. All the screws are rusted. I've seen water in this at some time, and it's had a hard life, poor thing. Sorry, I wasn't in front of the camera then, my bad. Righto. At least the penciometer moves. No, look at the inside of that. This has had a lot of electrolysis. Someone's tried to clean it up, because you can see it's been here with a wheel or something. A wire wheel or file or something. Oops, is this thing going to die? And the whole track is like had a really hard life. It's had a lot of rust and water in here, but it's the inner lip has just been hammered on this one as well. Okay, we'll carry on. Whoa! They have put tape over or under the top. Why is this on here for? There's a bit of some sort of funny tape here. Maybe they put it here for the potentiometer to sit on, but I think they've done it up. And it's turned sideways. I've just noticed something. It's got refurbished written on here in 19. Wow, what a mess. Okay. But yeah, looking at this, you can see it actually physically moves up and down. Just wobbles around everywhere. The whole thing is going to have to be repunched at the top here and flattened down and annealed over, I suppose you'd call it. Okay. Righty-o-ty. We shall report back to the customer, because we've got a bit of work to do with this. I'm going to check this motor out of here now, because it was only working in one direction, but I'm not surprised with all this, with everything the way it was. Okay, righty-o-ty. We shall catch you next adventure. We're back for a quick update. Deary me, what a mess. Okay, I just checked the motor. The motor is actually working, which is a plus, I suppose. But when I went to pull everything apart, the brake pad has totally dislodged from the actual disc. Totally gone. And now we can show you, I can actually show you the actual gear. Now what has happened here is this gear obviously had, this rotator must have water in it. This shaft is actually rusted into the gear, because the gear, I can actually turn the gear from the top. I can turn it from the actual shaft. It's actually broke free and been spinning, and that's why it's wobbling around like this, because it's actually got basically welded together by rust. So that's that. The potentiometer was put in, and they've snapped off the little locator which goes into that point there. That's why I noticed it was the actual potentiometer was all the way around to one side. I've looked at this too, and they've actually put a bit of some bodgy tape stuff to hold the actual the clear insulator pad off. So we'll get that off there now anyway. But it's obviously been full of water. You can see there's more rust marks on this side than this side. So so she's had a hard life, this poor thing. Okay, so that's a bit of a quick update. Especially that gear spinning around on that, so that's going to have to be totally pulled apart to get that all out and unrusted, so it's going to be more of a job than we thought it was going to be. But yeah, you can see where water has actually been in here. It's just been sitting up in here. This capacitor it's amazing it's actually still working, but they're pretty resilient, some of these capacitors. They take a lot of abuse. So yeah, righty-o. At least the motor's working, even though we're going to do a bit of cleanup on it. But yeah, everything's a bit of a mess. So that was a bit of a quick update on the continuation of this saga. Jesus, so yeah. Oh, and too as well, just something I found too. When you have a close look at the ring gear, it has only been you can see where the rest of it has had hardly any wear on it at all. It's only been grabbing at the very bottom, because that gear, it was only grabbing like there, probably only with 1.5 gears. You can see the line. There's a line. I'm coming closer. There's two lines. You see where one gear was and the next gear was, basically, and one gear wasn't making any contact. So they've reassembled things totally wrong, and they put spacers on everything to fudge everything, and basically that would have chewed the ring gear out. The ring gear seems to be okay. I mean, I've got to clean it up yet, but yeah, I probably should have my gloves on, but whatever. Rightio, well that's a quick update on this thing. I'm going to try and get back to the customer, and we shall, now we're definitely going, we'll see you in the next episode of whatever we're going to be doing. Catch up, bye.